year, you want to see the next year. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yo, and we are live, man. Hey, I'm going to change that nameplate down there. It's your boy Kool-Aid. We got Platte. The Pistons just beat the Bucks 124-112. Hey, you know what? Shout out to the legend. Shout out to the legend.
Yeah, shout out to the legend.
That is Big Rick Moore over there. He draws the crowd. Boy, the bad boys legend. And it's only appropriate after the Detroit Pistons win. And you know what, Platte? You asked for a blowout.
Yes.
You said you want to see the Pistons go out there and have a statement. Show that these teams are not on your level. And you know what? I'll count tonight as that.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
about 3 minutes left to go in this game. They were up by 20 points, and they pulled the starters. And it looked easy.
Yes.
It looked easy. It looked physical. It looked like, you know what? Yeah, we had to get our get back for that last game. And everything we said we wanted to see, I feel like we saw it tonight. After that last game against the Bucks, they came out here and they were like, you know what? Nah. This is not the way it's going down, especially not in our building. It's too cold in the default of that. So shout out to the Pistons for the victory. And it felt like a ho-hum victory. Double-doubles from Cade, double-double from Jalen Duren, and you get 3 of 3, from behind the arc from Jaden Ivey, as well as 19 points for Stu, who started in place of Tobias Harris. But just give me your initial reaction. I see the people in the chat, man.
Shout out,
dog.
Shout out to
Smash
the people.
That like
Shout out
Weezy
in there. That was, he said, this is one of the easiest bets ever. One of the easiest bets ever I did was Cade double-double, Duren double-double, Pistons win. You take it, the Stars be the Stars, because the Stars weren't the Stars last game when they played Milwaukee, and they needed to step up, and they did. And this was an overall team win, like you said. This was a make the statement win. This wasn't just a get back. This was a I let us down last time. This time I'm going to make sure that you know that you are not in my class.
Yeah.
And that's what they did, because the Bucks without Giannis are not in the Pistons class. They're just not. With Giannis, that's a different story. But right now, with no Giannis, you have to come out there and you have to prove that you are the team. And they did that tonight. And that's what I wanted. Because look, it's great to win all of these close games. That builds a lot of character. That means a lot, right? Yeah. Giving these young players a lot of clutch situations is going to give them a lot of confidence coming postseason. But what also will give them confidence if on a random night where they're supposed to win, they take care of business early, and this was easy for them. And that's what you need. You need that balance of both. You can't have every game be close. Yep. You saw that a couple years ago, Washington with Beal and Westbrook. They're winning every close game. They weren't really a good team. They were just winning a lot of close games. And so the Pistons, to prove you're a good team, you have to blow out the bad teams, and they did that tonight.
And what you see as well is it gets you a few extra minutes to do a few extra things, whether that's rest Cade a little bit more or Stu, or get some minutes for Marcus Sasser. It was nice to see
that was great.
The LCA crowd, recognized, because sometimes a fan base isn't clued in. They might not know this is his first time getting into the game in a long time. But for them to be able to clap at the end of the game while he's coming in for the last 2 or 3 minutes, it shows that the fans are not just bandwagoners. It's showing that whether they've been in the arena or not while during the down years, they at least know who the players are. They understand the importance of it. And Sasser working back, despite this team showing to be so much more deep than they were last year. I like that, man. These guys aren't quitting. They aren't giving up. They want to be out here on the court. And the fans, you said it at halftime of this thing. You remarked how just loud they were on a Saturday night. Yeah. I've come to a lot of these games over the last 4 to 5 years here. Tonight felt good. It felt like, we're at a game of a good team. Yeah. And for them to go out there and handle this thing the way you did, that's why I love it, man. I do believe in time we're going to see the Pistons be a squad that goes out there and regularly handles the weaker opponent like we saw tonight, especially if there's no star opponent out there. But I still don't believe that this is still a squad that showing enough pedigree that the arena is going to fit like this most.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. And another thing that's good about this win is this was a dominating win, Kool-Aid, but nothing was out of the ordinary, right? This wasn't some miracle. This wasn't some miracle game from a role player. This wasn't some miracle game from, even your superstars. It was pretty much everybody did their business, and that was it. We'll go through the box score probably, but that to me means something, right? Like, it'd be one thing. Shout out to all the people, man.
Who's that? Oh, shout out to handsome dude.
Shout out to my brother Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, that's your brother. Okay, yeah. Shout out, man.
Yeah, he also part-times as my butler. So shout out. Currently.
Does that make you Bruce Wayne?
I'm just saying, you haven't seen me and Batman in the same place. That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to Bateman.
Yeah, shout out to Bateman. But no, Quid, it doesn't mean something that this wasn't like a very, this was a night where everybody was hitting their threes and it's just one of those nights in an 82-game season. No, everybody did their job and they won. And that was all we asked, and that is what they delivered.
And you know what? I like the fact that you continue to compare them to the OKC Thunder, because before they actualized championship potential, they were one of those squads that were going out there and putting BTA to the teams that were better than. And they were a squad that was going out there and took the regular season serious each and every game. We understand the historical context that they and even the Golden State Warriors have done. And some people say, whoa, slow down. And shout out to Maz. I love Maz. But the reason why you got me thinking a little bit more, maybe we should make sure we're comparing them to these teams, is because those are homegrown teams. Yeah. These are teams that have, homegrown stars on them. We have Cade, we have Duren. Yeah. We are looking at players like Asard to take the next step. And when you look at these other teams like OKC, it is homegrown stars. Why should I feel like Cade shouldn't push to be at the level that Shea is? So these guys are going out there. You look at OKC, you look at the Golden State Warriors, homegrown. Their 4 stars were homegrown, all drafted, and they developed together. Hey, shout out to you're okay. Shout out to the staff here, man. Yeah, they are fabulous. Yes. Fabulous, nice. Hey, you want to say what up, Doug? Hey! They in here, man. But that's the thing. You look at these teams.
Shout out.
Hey!
Shout out.
Hey, the fans. It's a good time.
It's a real place, man.
Like, why shouldn't we look at this team as being able to handle the regular season that serious each and every game? Some people say, well, no, you got to coach sometimes, or no, you got to take your foot off the pedal sometimes to make sure you don't burn yourself out. Well, actually, some of the champions we've seen, they put the pedal to the metal each and every game. That's what I love about the gaudy records we've seen from OKC Thunder and the Golden State Warriors, who both won championships now. So it's like, if we can get that out of the Pistons each and every single night, we are going to see this team, I think about being like the 40-game mark, 50-game mark. You're going to see them go out there regularly BTAing, and every team is going to hate playing the Pistons, even good teams. They're going to know. This is a squad that literally is 82 games on the schedule. It's 82 games that they're going to play all freaking out, man. Thank you again to all you guys for being here. Randall Smalls, see you, but I told him we were going to go live after the game. Randall Smalls is here, man.
Shout out to Randall.
Weezy D313, our guy, and so many others, man. So
a lot of regulars.
Shout out to you all for being
Smash
here.
the like button for the first in-person Pistons post-game stream.
And he was trash talking. He trash talked Rick Mahorn and lived to tell the story.
I did. He didn't want the smoke. I let him live another day.
Where's he at? He ain't around this.
No. I made sure. I made sure.
Shout out Rick, man.
Shout out to Rick Mahorn.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing. When I see Rick walking this way, he got that smile on his face. That's when I know the Detroit Pistons went out there and they played the right way. Yeah. And that's what I like. We talked about wanting to see the physicality back, wanting to see the hustle back, and we remarked about the fact that we saw Cade, whether the shots falling or not, he was out to hustle. That type of stuff from your leader has to be infectious. And what do you see from the rest of the guys? Scrappiness all freaking night, man. And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And I see Weezy throwing 3. OKC had trade pieces and did it faster. They were able to, with the use of their draft pick, go ahead and accelerate some things. But you know what? Oh, and one more thing here before we get into the box score, and I get some more thoughts from you. Brandon Martin in the chat. Good name, great name, Brandon Martin. But he says, happy birthday, Hooper.
Shout out to Hooper,
Even Grimace, bro, from McDonald's showed up.
That was crazy.
We had Paul's here. We had Rory the Lion here. We had UDM Titan here, man. Paul, it was a good birthday for Hooper.
Pistons got some pull, man. You see that? No, I do love that. I do love that connectivity between sports teams, because we are, at the end of the day, what makes Detroit sports and Woodward sports so great is that we're one of the cities that has all 4 major teams right here in the city. Yeah, like
right on the same block.
Right on the same block. Yep.
This arena and see of Comerica Park and Ford Field right across the street.
Absolutely.
Right
so it's a beautiful blessing, man, and it was cool, man. It was a really dope time to like bring them out and kind of bring that to fruition.
And you know what, man? Shout out to the people. It's a great environment here. Getting some social stuff going on as well. Still a good environment. People are still taking their last shots and everything. I think I see my dog My dog, Eric Vincent of Clutch Points.
Shout out.
Yeah, as you see him, he's trying to act like we don't see him right now, but we see him. Shout out Eric Vincent down there, man.
Yeah, shout out.
We see. I told him tonight, hold it down, man. I could be in a press conference. We got Platte in the building. Wanted to be able to get on this press conference.
Yes,
this
sir.
post-game stream with you. But shout out to Eric Vincent. Everything is on. I know you got this stuff going up.
Yes, sir.
I know you got the content going, but shout out, man. Keep crushing. Keep crushing, bro. Shout out.
Appreciate you. We're sports family, Rap Cave family, man. He's really,
bro, and it's a great environment in here.
Yeah.
It's such a. We've been. Eric was here doing some dark, cold days.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's dope, man. It's dope now. But Platte, man, I'm seeing some more people getting here. Just give me your thoughts one more time on this game before we get into the box score, and then we'll also talk about the road ahead for these Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about the road ahead. But for this game, I just, like I said, I'll continue to repeat that everything was manageable. Everything was real. There wasn't anything that was outside of the ordinary. Everybody played their roles and committed, and this team had a lot of depth. And we'll get to the box score and we'll talk about it. But there are certain players that didn't really get a lot of minutes tonight in a blowout. And so you're starting to kind of see what they're doing, what they're looking for with their rotations. And I think this team is really still forming themselves. Like, this team is the team that we have in early December before Christmas is going to be different than the team you have at the trade deadline. And that doesn't mean that there's going to be a move. That just means that this identity, that this growth is changing, because Stu was awesome tonight. And I think you're going to have a real conversation. This is the second time Tobias has went out and missed some games and Stu played well. I think you're going to start to have some conversation about, should Stu start? Maybe Tobias is that spark off the bench for offense. Not that Tobias isn't playing great, but Stu and Duren they look really good together. And that is a awesome thing for the Pistons, because that obviously allows them to be a top 5 defense, but that gets you in like top 2 territory when you're able to play Stu and Duren a lot of minutes.
What I like about this Pistons team is at full strength, they look like one of the best teams in the NBA. And
yes.
At not full strength, they look like one of the best teams in the NBA.
Yes.
That's what I've liked about it. And I think that when you see them going as deep as they are and finding ways to stay consistent within their offensive cohesion, no matter who's in there, that's what I like about seeing Stu go out there and pop off for the 19 points and starting a place of Tobias, because last year when we lost players, you felt that impact. Yep. This year, if they can actually hurdle losing some players but still being able to achieve the goal, then you're talking about a team that is way more formidable in the playoffs. Last year, what if they could have overcome the loss of Isaiah Stewart? Mm-hmm. And one thing I know, they would not have looked good at all without Tobias Harris in last year's playoffs.
Yeah.
But this year, if by happenstance, they have to either, you get to the end of the season and players are injured, players are tired, legs are different. That's why I do believe you're going to see a different Pistons team because of who they're showing themselves to be right now in terms of depth, getting guys minutes, giving guys minutes in times where you have to trust them. Dennis Jenkins has gotten minutes in the crunch time.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff I mean. So when you get to the end of the season, you're going to have a team that understands who they're playing with. You're going to have a team that can play no matter who's out there on the court. If anyone's injured, this shouldn't be a squad who all of a sudden the entire identity has changed. Like, we missed Tobias Harris, but you get Isaiah Stewart who steps up. Yeah. We'll miss an Isaiah Stewart, and you get a Paul Reed who steps up and have like one of those Paul Reed games, like 20 points and in 3 threes. They are, shout out to his shot, but it go in. The rebounds and things. Even Dennis Jenkins, who hit a huge shot against Orlando Magic earlier in the season to send it to overtime, and the Pistons eventually won. Shout out to the people, man. We got more people out here taking the shots. LCA, man, the buzz is just dope. But
a lot of great Pistons swag too, man.
A lot tonight, man. It's
different. The Detroit Pistons have really stepped up in the last couple of years to their merch. And shout out to my guy Big Sean. I feel like he probably played a part in that.
And that's part of his role, man. He's the creative director here for the Detroit Pistons.
I mean, because look, right now, them is Fizz Fire. You've seen a lot of great Piston fits.
Look at this.
You've seen a lot of great Piston fits. I love that teal hoodie that they got
the
going.
light bulb for the fans, dog.
Yes,
y'all deserve it. Look at that, man. All of that red, white, and blue. I've seen a couple Milwaukee, and a couple times I was ready to be mad, but really it was just people in the St. Cecilia, Detroit jersey. So just the fans is holding down, man. They definitely are. But Platte, before we get to the box score, this is interesting to me. Dre Money says they're not even mid-season, and we ain't seen nothing yet. The Pistons still haven't played their best basketball yet. Detroit basketball.
I agree.
What point in the season do you think we're going to see the Pistons take off? I'm thinking this might be the 40-50 game mark. But what point in the season do you think that's going to be for you? And how confident are you that they're going to achieve that as well?
I think it is going to line up perfectly with that middle of the season, because then, you've had enough reps. Obviously, you have a big enough sample size to see what this team is. But I think that's when they're going to really start to take off, because those are the dog days of the NBA. Like, you talk about late January when you start to get ready, people are starting to look forward to All-Star break and this and that. I think this Piston team is really going to show themselves in January, because if you look at like title contenders, what they do is the metrics you'll use is since January. And even last year, the Pistons, right? Since January, we're a different team. I think you're going to see something similar with them this year. I think you're going to see these players rise to the occasion and be a better team, because a lot of teams, Kool-Aid, have good Februarys, right? Because it's a short month. A lot of teams have good March because there's tanking and all of that.
I'm calling player of the month for Cade in February. Just mark that down. But
yeah, no, I agree. I agree absolutely. I think that's that month. That's that month though, where the only thing that could get shaky about that call, Kool-Aid, is that because it's the shortest month, you have that player every year. You see it, that player that shoots like 80% from three because they only played 17 games and like whatever, or like 10 games, whatever. But no, I think this Pistons team, I think you're going to be able to judge them late January, because February and March obviously matter. Every game matters to title contender. But you look at Boston a couple years ago, they flipped the script in January. Pistons last year flipped the script in January. A lot of the good teams, that's when you really start to see in the dog days who wants it. Everybody's had enough time to work out their kinks, figure out what their rotations are, be the best version of themselves. And that's when you're going to see other teams are their best version, and this Pistons version is better. And that's where I think you'll really see it.
Hey, you know what, Sebastian, he believes, as you do, January, right around the same time that they got going last year. And he said this, I love this one because I love Dragon Ball Z.
Shout out.
This isn't even our final form.
Shout out.
Shout out, man. You talking about Cell, Boo, Frieza. I get it, man. Goku. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like we're getting to that phase where eventually we're going to see a Detroit Pistons team that has the equivalency of that Ultra Instinct. Yeah. Like, it's just straight up where it's just everything is in sync. And that's the reason why that I love what we're seeing right now. You're talking about a team that's 19-5, bro. And their offense has been really up and down at best. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've had some high moments, and they've had times where, like, they lost or they had to barely hang on because the offensive chemistry and cohesion might not be at 100, might not be at 70% right now. But because of the defense and them being top 5 in that consistently, that's something that I've seen really be there most of the season, except for maybe a couple games. And the few games that wasn't there, they actually won.
Yeah.
Like the 138-135 game they won about a few games ago. So I'm grateful that this team is going out there and they understand that it's going to always start the defensive side of the floor. I know some people that took some umbrage to even Ron Holland's comments after one of the previous games, where he said, look, we're not even worried about how we're shooting. They care about the offense, but he's like, look, we're not looking at that, whether it's going in or whether it's not. Those are things that they can influence, but they don't control. What they control is their defensive effort. What they control is how much they're putting into study and being in the right places to be able to come up against each and every team and know their assignment. And what do we see? A team that looks so connected on defense. I used to think that it took several years for this type of stuff to develop. We're talking about players who a few years ago we thought were lost on defense, and now they're out there as a top 4 team in all of the NBA in terms of defensive efficiency, in terms of opponent points per game, and they're doing it in the ways that we all know and like. And they're doing it no matter what. The whistle can be 65 fouls called one night. The whistle can be 40 fouls called the next night. They're finding a ways to navigate this and play consistent no matter what. Now the offense, they're giving themselves some time. They're buying themselves time by how well the defense is playing. But when you get to the offense, when you get to the playoffs, when you get to 50-game mark, when other teams have reached their stride and their chemistry is in tune, you want to know that your offense can go out there and be dependable every single night. Every single night. That's why I definitely agree with you on that one, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's gonna take time. And I think they've shown us nothing but progression. Like, every team goes through a lull pretty much, and except maybe OKC. but every team goes through a lull, and you'd rather it be late November, early December than anywhere else.
Hey,
So
the final shots, final
shout
fans
out.
coming off the court. And like you said, everybody got on the swag. Everybody got on the
Everybody,
You see the
man.
Bucks friends and family are across the other way. So they've been coming out and talking to them and everything. I know I saw Darvin Ham come out earlier. Shout out to Darvin Ham.
Shout out Duncan Darvin.
Yeah. Saginaw native, as well as a former Detroit Piston, always a Detroit Piston. He's a champion.
Yes.
So let me correct that. Shout out to Darvin Ham, man. It's cool because you could tell he knows. He walked by, he looks, and I've got to talk to him a couple times, and this time he just nods ahead. And I'm like, because I covered this team, this current team, but I love that 04 team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a different level, so it's dope.
Yeah.
Whenever we get to see even the guys like your Lindsey Hunters, your Darvin Hams, who, whether people herald them the way they should be, we understand everything that they gave towards giving a championship. And where do we see that identity right now? This team is starting to form that identity. When you talk about this ain't even our final form yet, this is a team that's going out there and they recognize every squad that's ever won here got it out the mud this way.
Yes. Yeah, that's what gives you so much confidence, right? Is that there is a certain way that the Pistons won. There is a certain DNA, and that DNA is very transmittable. And this isn't some forced marketing ploy, right? To make you buy in. This is very real. You talk to the players, you talk to the coaches, you talk to fans. Like, everybody sees
Even
it.
the fans.
What you see is what you're getting, and so it feels good when the eye test backs it up. Because like tonight, tonight they looked like Milwaukee didn't belong, and that's exactly what you want them to look like. You want them to look like Milwaukee didn't belong.
You know who belongs? KPJ. Golly.
Yeah,
he likes playing the Pistons.
He does.
He's like, y'all traded me for 4 second-round picks.
I think he likes also Giannis being out. I think he very much likes Giannis being out.
Some guys. All right, let me not use what I was going to use.
Yeah.
Some guys they understand how to take advantage of usage. Let me just put that of available usage. I was going to say something wild.
Well, no, I mean, let's call what it. I mean, let's call what it is in a nice way. A lot of players in this NBA can do good things on teams that don't matter.
Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
In the past, we've seen these types of
We
players.
saw Kuzma tonight.
That's how it goes.
He had some moments.
That's the thing. So
he had some moments, but at the end of the day, he was that guy.
But I do want to ask you this before we get to
don't be that guy, Kuzma.
Do those things concern you? Now, the Pistons largely kept everybody else in check. Nobody else on the Bucks scored over 15 points, and that was Kyle Kuzma. And KPJ got the 32, 7 and 9 from behind the arc, so he was helped out big. But who did they shut down? It seems like the defensive assignment and attention went actually towards Ryan Rollins, who's had a couple nice games. Yes. Obviously, we know what he's doing. He's put the league on alert. Like I'm a real NBA player. I am here. Shout out to Ryan Rollins, Michigan native as well. But tonight, just 10 points, 4-14 from the field, 1 to 7 from behind the arc. And if you're playing the Bucks right now, he's one of those guys that actually stirs the pot. He's one of the straws that stirs the drink. And so for them to be able to go and, effectively shut him down and force him into a bad shooting night, you take it. But with KPJ, I'm hoping that they can figure out how to guard and defend better those types of players.
Yes.
It wasn't just that it was KPJ for me. Whatever.
Yes.
But those types of guards have been the ones to give the Pistons some fits all season, and you want to be able to see them get a better handle on that.
Absolutely. And what are you
32 points,
seeing this Piston team, have that against this team, and a guy like KPJ going off? So, what are you looking at from what you've seen so far this season is their best option? Because a lot of people would say throw a star on him or do this, but look, he had a good game against Asar tonight. I don't think Asar played bad defensively. I don't think he's capable of playing bad defensively, but they still got that result. And so I am wondering because look, the Pistons last year were matched up against a guy like Jalen Brunson, who KPJ kind of looked like tonight, right? Like he looked like that. He looked like that guard that was yes, and that's what this Piston team is going to have to figure out is that best true point attack defender. And I don't know. What do you think from what you saw is the solution? Is it just rotate Ron, Asar, like just throw a bunch of fresh, active, long bodies at him, or is it get some different things like Ivy or or Cade, or what do you want to do about those type of players?
The mix of what you're saying. I think sometimes it's just a mix. And in the playoffs, if you have a guy that's absolutely going off, the adjustment will be give him different looks. Take your defenders that you can afford to get some fouls, play a little bit physical, knock someone off their bump, and make sure that you're not pushing them further into, like, Jalen Brunson's a guy who you can push him into torching your team.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So it's like you want to make sure that your guys can play smart and play savvy and be in a position where they can limit when those types of guys, limit the effects when those guys start to pop off. And I think that's the positive takeaway from KPJ. You got 32.79. You don't ever want to see a guy go that off on you. But when you can take the rest of the team and put them in your duffel bag with you, shut them down, I think that you will live with that. And so the thing is this, when you're facing, I'm glad you brought up Jalen Brunson, though, is because we saw him go out there and effectively be the offense for the Knicks in the playoffs, and that made a difference. There were fourth quarters where he was doing the things we saw KPJ doing, and that makes a huge difference. So I know the Pistons will be better for it. We're talking about the things they need to learn offensively. They're still top 5 defensively. Think about this. We're talking about a squad then that can actually go out there and improve. We see there's ways that this team is going to be able to go out there and improve even defensively, let alone just on the offensive side. So are we ready for that box score?
Yeah, I just want to quickly say I think that I'm confident about this team because, look, if you can make it a tough 32 and limit everything around, because like you said, outside of him, nobody else got over 15 points. And I think that is the issue. You look at the Pistons games that they lost to the Knicks, it was because Brunson had 30 plus, but somebody else had in the 20s or also 30. And it was that one guy being the difference. But look, they blew out that team because, you know, if you make that one guy work for it and he can get 32, that's fine. But if it's a difficult 32 and everything else is limited, that team's just not going to win because you can't win off of an inefficient 32 and a bunch of players in the teens.
No,
you can't do it.
You
can't do it. The math doesn't add up because you're not going to get to 85, 95 points. And that's what you need to win a playoff game. You need at least 100 points.
It was interesting to see how that pace picked up because I thought the Pistons had a good chance to actually hold another opponent under 100 points, which they've done several times this season already. It's a testament to just kind of who they are. And as they get more consistent, you're going to see this. They hover tonight just around their defensive efficiency rating of like about 111, 112 for them.
Yes.
And we want to see them get down to what again? Was it like 108, 107?
Yes.
Yeah. And because those are the most gaudy defensive efficiency numbers. So shout out. But we'll get into this box score, man. Like we said, Kyle Kuzma, 15 points, 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 2 from behind the arc. So they did not let him really get busy at all. KPJ was the story tonight for the Bucks. Other than that, not much to write home about. Miles Turner, not a Pistons schedule tonight. 12 points.
He was in the first quarter.
3 of 7 from behind the arc. But that's what I'm saying. Like, some of the things that have killed them over, the last few times they faced the Bucks or faced some of these players, they actually solved. So that's why I'm just like with the KPJ thing. You handled Miles Turner. You kept, Kuzma in check, and Ryan Rollins did not go off at all. He has not had the game. He did not have the game tonight that we've seen him have. So I'm appreciative of what they did tonight. And the bench, nobody really did anything. Gary Trent Jr. led off the bench 11 points. Bobby Portis, nothing. 7 points, 2 of 11 from the field. 7 rebounds, 4 assists. So he still kind of gets his hands in the middle of everything. But he really was a non-factor tonight versus what he was probably the other night.
Yes.
On the Pistons side of things, you get a pair of double-doubles from Cade Cunningham, 23 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds, and Jalen Duren, who goes out there and puts up 16 and 16. And what I love about Jalen Duren, man, and his gaudy stats and numbers this year is the fact that he's going out there and he's doing it with a high efficiency.
Yes.
Again, another game where he shot 6 of 8 from the field for his 16. So low maintenance. He can go out there and get his own if he wants, but he has I love the intersection of efficiency and effectiveness for him because you know that you don't have to give Duren 15 to 20 looks for him to go out there and get the points and stats that he has. But these guys, like we said, another ho-hum night, double-doubles for each of them, man. Anything stood out for you, for either one of those players?
No, because like I said, this is regular.
Business.
This is handle business. This is what you ask of them. You ask of them to be the best players, and you ask of them to take care of business, be a positive on the floor, and they were. Where were they in plus minus? Were they like near the top or? maybe not because some of those bench units probably.
Yeah, we'll see.
Plus-
Cade has the highest plus minus on the night at plus 28, and Jalen Duren has the second highest at plus 27.
Exactly. So
Hey,
I call like I see a ball knower.
Look at this. I talk ball knower Platte. I'm a
Savant.
Kool-Aid Lottie, y'all. Come on,
He
man.
wouldn't.
Come on,
I
tap
would, but
in.
he would.
Smash that like button, man.
No,
Smash
honestly,
the like
don't
button to
lie.
support. Pistons win 124 to 112, and when I'm looking at this plus minus, I love this. I mean, the next highest one I actually is your favorite player, Caris LeVert, at plus 19, and that's what you want to see. You want to see these guys having positive minutes from out there on the court, bench player or not, a lot of minutes or not. Obviously, you have a much better chance to skew what your plus minus is. But as we go down this thing, Duncan Robinson returned 7 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 6 from behind the arc. But for him, we already know what it is. It's feast or famine. It's going to be these types of nights or flamethrower nights.
Yes.
You deal with them. It is what it is. But again, another night where their 3-point shooter wasn't that guy, and the Pistons offense still went out there and did what?
Yes.
Put up 124 points on the night. So
That's great.
Shout out. Cade took 10 of them boys. Hit 3 of them. I'll take the 30%. Isaiah Stewart 3 of 5 from behind the arc. He was
awesome.
6 of 8 from the field as well for 19 points, man, in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
So when Isaiah Stewart starts, special things happen.
He becomes a scorer. It's really awesome because he is somebody that you looked at last year and you were just grateful for the top tier defense that he provided, and anything he gave you on offense was a bonus. It was a cherry on top of the sundae. But now you can, especially in starting roles, you can expect him to give you something.
Yeah,
because he has consistently when he started, and so I think you really start to have that conversation about Tobias versus Isaiah Stewart. I really think you do, because what does Tobias give you? Tobias does give you on a regular night a good 16, 18, 20 points.
Yeah.
And then what? Some solid defense, but not Stu, not all NBA first team, not DPOY should be considered defense. He doesn't give you that.
JB Bickerstaff called Isaiah Stewart the best defensive big in the league, and I know this. The only thing that will keep him off the court is how they try to manage his minutes throughout the season.
Right.
Remember last year, the reason why he wasn't eligible for those awards is because they were trying to manage the minutes. So they kept him under 20 minutes a game, and he wound up playing the most games he played in the season and his most efficient season. His blocks went up, his scoring was more efficient, his steals went up, and his field goal percentage went up. This year, you're seeing them being able to play him a little bit more. And honestly, it's looking like you're going to have to find a way to do that some more.
Yeah.
3-on-3, Kurt says, Stu is not a starter. And for me personally, I don't believe he's a starter either. I believe that the Pistons at their best is going to be with Stu coming off the bench, not limiting his impact. But if there's somebody playing in front of Stu, then that person is that much better. And it's going to make your team that much better. But it's tough because the version of Stu that we're getting right now is one that's stretching the floor. When I first made these remarks, he wasn't stretching the floor like this or defending the rim like this. Did he give you effort? Yes, but as Braylon like to call him, it was almost like baby Max Hill to a degree. You could see who he was. You could see what he could be potentially. And that's why I thought if you move him to the bench, take his usage and reduce it, and you don't need him to be worried about offense or this and the other, because sometimes when you start, you got to worry about your offense. Just come in and my job is come in and just lay the pain.
Yeah.
I thought that would be good for him, and it was for a large part of his development of his career. He's not just a serviceable big. He is one of the best big men in the game as it relates to defense.
Yes.
And so it'll be interesting to see how they handle this going forward, because now you have a situation where when he's starting, he's going out there and doing so much more than what he was doing when they initially moved him to the bench. So that's going to be an interesting one, man. But we got let's see here. Duncan Robinson, Isaiah Stewart, Sar Thompson, 13 points, 6 of 7 field goals, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. And I'm going to say this. I know there's a lot of people out there who they'll see the games and the potential for him to go out there and be just consistently dominant every night, 17, 18 points probably a game is what a lot of people want to see. This is the prototypical game that I actually like from Sar Thompson. He stuffed the stat sheet. He was all over the court tonight, and you already know what he's going to give you defensively.
Yes.
So, what are your thoughts on Sar before we move to the bench?
Great game. Love to see it from him. He had some good finishes. That's what I'm monitoring with him. Yeah. So he had some good finishes. I believe his only miss was a 3-point attempt, right? So or it was for sure a jump shot. But as he continues to improve that mid range, that off the dribble pull up, as he continues to improve finishing around the rim, he is going to be somebody that is going to be extremely valuable because, again, if you are not spacing the floor, you have to finish at the rim because you are great defensively, but you get schemed out. You look at Spencer mentions it. If you don't play offense, but you play great defense, you're Andre Roberson and you're out of the league. And
you can find a place, but you see right now it says if Isaiah Stewart was an undeniable offense or a potential where the ceiling was a little bit higher, I don't you see him starting. Is that Ryan Rollins up there? Yeah, that's Ryan Rollins right there.
That's right.
With his people from Michigan.
Shout out.
That's his people's up there. He's up there in the top. He got on the bus. He's kind of at the top of the stairs, man.
Say L on 3. 1, 2, 3.
L. We love you though, Michigan.
Yeah, shout out though.
Shout out to him.
Man, would love for him to be a Piston.
That's awesome, man, to see his people show up in the support, man. I would love for him to be a Piston. Him and Jalen Johnson are, goodness. I know Jalen Johnson's no longer a secret.
The cat's out the bag on that.
Yeah,
I'm impressed with the SAR. I need to see this more going forward. I agree with you. I don't need 18 points, 20 points a game from him. I need, be 6 of 7, 13 points, stuff the stat sheet, make plays for others, get rebounds, get stocks. He didn't have the best night in terms of stocks tonight.
Yeah,
but
none of the guys really did, which is weird.
But at the end of the day, he played more than well enough. And that's what you take.
Oh yeah.
That's what you take right now until you show me that you have that next ceiling. And maybe that's something that comes later this season or next year. But right now, I think a fair expectation for him is this. If he develops into something more than that, then you are talking that star. You are talking that third max. That's what you're talking about. But right now, what you're talking about is a very useful starter utility player that every team would want. So
he's spitting. He's just preaching. He's like, you know what? Let's let Platte have that word there. As we go through the bench, we're not going to break them all down, but we'll definitely call out some performances. Paul Reed continues to be a guy you can depend on. 15 minutes tonight, 10 rebounds from the big fella, 3 from the floor, 6 points, and 3 assists. Paul Reed minutes are life, man.
Yes.
I like Paul Reed, but Ron Holland, 4 points, 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 4 from behind the arc, 4 rebounds. Yeah, I get what people are going to say. I know what they're going to want to see. He was 4 or 5 from the free throw line. I think that his offense is going to be the one that is the most up and down. And because of the minutes, they're going to not be as consistent as they were last year. Last year, I thought he got an opportunity to kind of get in there and give himself enough time to turn some of his hustle plays and his defensive plays into points. And he'll have those opportunities on a night like tonight. He had an opportunity to get to double-digit points. Ball just didn't fall his way. Last night, you see him hit pretty well in terms of shooting the ball, especially from behind the arc. I think he hit 3 threes, 3 or 5. Tonight, he didn't hit them. So it's part of the maturation for a guy who's just in his second year. And, you know, with Ron Holland, I see a lot of the discourse, and I don't think people understand, like, this is a guy who has to adapt without necessarily, as a top 5 pick, without the usage and opportunity that all of the other Pistons lottery picks have gotten. So he's having to just not play even to his strengths, but just find a lane, find a role. And what the team believes he can help out with most, they're just doing that. They'll push him into that lane. But if you're taking 8 shots, you want to see a guy go out there and at least get 3 or 4 of those to drop for him. And I'm not going to crush him over it, though. Like I said, I thought he was very, very instrumental in why the Pistons were able to get the dub against Portland. So
he brings a lot of energy, man. But that 3-point shot and just overall scoring is going to have to be a difference maker for him to have a ceiling because right now, again, it's very early in his career. He's barely into his second season, but we talk about ceilings with Asar. Like Asar has a ceiling. He's got to get to at least an Asar ceiling before he gets to something else if he wants to get beyond that. So let me ask you that question. Are you more concerned with Asar's struggles to finish or Holland's struggles to hit from particularly the corner 3, which is going to be his bread and butter? You're not going to expect him to hit from all over the 3, do some Duncan Robinson movement threes, obviously, but you got to knock down the open corner 3. And he has not done that. So are you more concerned with hit that or with Asar's finishing?
I have, oh goodness gracious. I believe it's important for Ron Holland to be able to knock down one or two of those things, even if he ends the night like 104 from beyond the arc. I think it's important for him to be able to knock those down. With Asar, you're going to see Asar have, big impact across the entire stat sheet most nights. In most nights, you also get the stocks from him too.
Mhm.
And so I do want to see him finish better. But even aside from that, you still see him go out there and get 4 or 5 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds, have his 8 to 10 points, 8 to 12 points every single night. So I think it's more important for Ron Holland. You're talking about limited minutes because Asar's going to start. Asar's going to get the minutes. That means that everything that Holland does is going to be that much more magnified. So if he wants to have an impact, if he wants to increase what he's able to do and have opportunity-wise, then he is going to have to hit those threes when he gets that opportunity. He is going to have to hit the layups because there was a couple smoke layups tonight.
Mhm.
Shout out to Mad Pack
Yep.
Jars.
Shout out to Mad Pack Jars.
Yeah,
Gold Crown.
Gold Crown. And so those are things. He knows this, though. He came into this situation last year knowing I have to take full advantage of every opportunity. I have to make the best of every opportunity. And if not, he knows that's where his minutes are coming from with this.
Absolutely.
If he was drafted maybe a year or two before, maybe he's not gifted a spot, but he slid in. He gets to slide into one of those spots that we see our other young players that were, Asar Thompson. He was a number 5 overall pick, just like Ron Holland. But we understand that he came into the organization at a different time, different depth. So that's a good question. It's nuanced, but I think it's more important for Ron Holland to be able to hit those corner threes. Obviously, we want to see Asar finish well, but we know that Asar is going to have a crazy impact across 4 or 5 stats, and including things that don't show up in the stat sheet. And not that Holland doesn't, but we see statistically, Asar Thompson's able to do that more consistently.
Yes. I think you have to be able to hit that open 3. I think that's really going to change a lot for this Piston team if he's able to even do that at a solid clip, not even a great clip. And you always point to the free throws as an indicator. And the free throws, again, 4 or 5 tonight. So there is still that tease of promise there. So I'm not ruling it out yet. I'm not ruling out either, obviously. But I think for this season, I think you would like Asar's finishing to be better for this season because of the immediate short term. But long term with both of these prospects in terms of not only the Pistons, but where they would stand in the league, Ron Holland is going to be a guy that you can only be an energy guy for so long, because if 5-6 years from now, you're still the energy guy, but there's a 19-year-old now that can fill that void, and they can just hustle their heart out. And, so I think Ron Holland has to establish being more than that. But right now it's useful. It's still incredibly useful. He's still incredibly valuable, but he has to get that 3-point shot, because then you're talking about a ceiling that, then he's the third guy. I think if either one of them unlock the question I asked Kool-Aid, they are a star. I really do. Because I think they have the intangibles.
I'm looking at the defensive ratings right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your top 5 rating. I'll look up the top 5 teams. I'm curious to see who are around the Pistons, like the types of teams that they're around and such. But it's interesting because they actually improved their defensive rating. It dropped to now 111.9.
Shout out.
It's going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
The lower that number, the better. That means that the Pistons effectively, on average, hold their opponents per 100 possessions to like 111.2 points per game, and that's great. In this NBA, that's great. That's a great number. I see the post game quotes just came in too. I'll see if there's anything of note in there. But before we do that, we'll finish up this box score real quick.
Yep.
Hey, shout out to you guys for supporting. If you're still here, if you didn't get the opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button to support your crew. It's Ball No
Smash.
It's your boy Kool-Aid.
Smash that like button.
You guys already see what it is. Go ahead and smash that like button. I know. I think some people are in here talking about OSU. OSU missed a field goal.
Couldn't be me.
To be tied 13-13. So they're losing to Indiana. Shout out. But
always love to see that.
Yeah, you always love to see it. But let's
always love to see Ohio fail.
Your favorite player played the most minutes off the bench tonight. 22 minutes for Karis LeVert, 11 points. 3 of 5 from the floor. All 3-pointers. All of his attempts. Everything is just, hey, I'm open. I'm taking it.
The defense was just giving him open threes. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. They gave him the Ron Holland treatment. That was weird. No, wasn't that weird in the fourth quarter where he had back-to-back open threes? Turner didn't even bother closing out.
Yeah. You know what? I think that when you're a defense, you have to pick and choose. You have to pick your poison. And if there's a player out there, a lot of times I'm probably going to put Karis LeVert in a position to have to make a decision. To know that he took 5 threes and that was all of his attempts tonight shows that he didn't get caught up in or baited into the in-between game. He's either an at-the-rim player or shooting a three. When he starts getting into the mid-range and all of that, it don't really work out for him. I don't think he's at his best there. So I'm actually happy to know, like, if they step back, he didn't take the bait. And you notice they did that a lot of times. Paul Reed, Ron Holland, and Karis LeVert, they stepped back. Almost as to dare them to shoot the three. And a couple times, like Paul Reed, he had a good drive one time where he actually took the pump fake, did the hezzy to the right here in front of us, and drove baseline and wound up, I think, passing off to Duren, or trying to attempt a layup. Duren got 3 rebounds, pushed somebody out the way, and got the dunk. And so it's like, if these players are learning to adjust to the different defenses that they're going to face every night and still come away like this, because you're right, you can see it. They're playing different zones, different principles, and they're trying to, aggravate people and frustrate people. And the Pistons are just weathering the storm, and they're 19-5 right now.
Yeah, and I think with Karis, I think you're starting to see more what I wanted to see with him, and what I was while I was critical on him. I was always good. I was always giving him time to feel things out, adjust to this team, adjust to this role, et cetera, et cetera. And I think you're starting to see that tonight, and tonight's a big marker. Now you're starting to see why JB has chosen to give him minutes. So he was fine tonight. He did what he needed to. He didn't kill you. Like you said, he didn't try to overdo it. He kind of stuck to his role, and it was valuable, and it can continue to be valuable. But the one thing I question now, Kool-Aid, is the last thing I really got to mention about the box score in terms of players who played and didn't play is Dennis Jenkins. And Dennis Jenkins, I can't help but think that if Karis is getting 23 minutes off the bench, that that's obviously coming at the expense of Dennis, because now Ivy is back and getting minutes and looked good. So I guess there are some more things to talk about on the rotation and the box score. But to me, the Dennis Jenkins thing is Karis has taken that spot. Ivy has taken that spot from Dennis, and he's been relegated. And I'm not sure yet that that's a good thing, because we really did like the flashes we got from Dennis. Even Dennis and Cade together in that Atlanta game, they were awesome together. They were terrific. They were terrific in the Washington game that went to overtime. So I think that Dennis is somebody that has proven his worth. And I don't know if, Karis this isn't the night where I could dunk on him and be like, he was bad. But I do still have the question of, is he the better solution than Dennis? I get what he brings. He brings size.
Size, defense. He does have some ISO ability that I actually trust a little bit more to Dennis. And I think that there's the way that some of the Pistons, the way that the Pistons are being defended, the way that they're using lengthier defenders out on the perimeter as well to try and discourage or, diminish their shooting ability. I think that that's where, Karis LeVert gets a little bit of the edge, because you see he can shoot over the top of defenses a little bit better than Dennis. And over the past few games, Dennis's offense has been dwindling, and I think it's because of the attention. When you put yourself on the scouting report, then they're going to bring the pain. They're going to bring the different looks to try and slow you. And he had a run. He had an insanity run. So he put himself on the map. And I think that as he continues, because he's a baller, Dennis Jenkins is going to figure it out. The right thing for JB Bickerstaff to do, since he can afford to do it, is take a player who wasn't necessarily in the plans for the rotation, reduce the usage a little bit, have him learn, have him see, keep him in the rotation a little bit. And I think that you'll see that start to go back up again. It's going to be a situation for me that after the trade deadline, I believe players like Dennis Jenkins, Jaden Ivey are going to present themselves almost as if new players, almost as if you brought in some new players. And by that, I mean the consistency of Dennis Jenkins. Not, okay, he had a run, and now it's not as good. And I believe that with even Ron Holland. I believe that you're going to see these guys be way more consistent on the offensive side than we do right now. Even Jaden Ivey, who one night he's a point-a-minute guy and hitting the three well, and then the next night people are saying, oh, he's the reason why the Pistons are struggling on offense. Tonight, again, another one of those situations where he's almost a point-a-minute guy and 100% from behind the arc. That is Jaden Ivey. As we kind of wrap up the box score, we got Jaden Ivey with because I'm gonna group him in with Javonte Green. I
Oh
saw
yes,
somebody earlier
Javonte was awesome.
talk
today.
about the fact that Ivy and Green, I wish I would have highlighted it, were really good in limited minutes tonight. But Jaden Ivey, again, 10 points, 3 or 4 from the floor, 3 or 3 from beyond the arc, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And I saw him getting some stuff back, man. I really saw him starting to get some stuff back. You want to see the speed and the burst continue to improve, and I think he'll get there. Javonte Green, 17 minutes, 13 points, 5 and 9 from the field, 2 or 4 from beyond the arc. This team is
awesome.
It's a deep team, man. They score over 40, 50 points off the bench tonight.
Yeah.
But Javonte, led by, in my opinion, Javonte Green and Jaden Ivey.
Yes. Ivy was awesome tonight. Javonte was awesome. But the thing about Javonte is he just gives you plus minutes regardless. Like, he just is positive out there. And that's all you need from bench players, is to be positive, because you look at a team that I was worried we were going to be compared to in this term, Denver, where when Jokic comes off, you know how that team just tanks. They're really bad. They've really struggled to figure that out over the last several seasons. Even at their apex, they would get up 10, 12, and then Jokic would come out for 2 minutes, and it's a 2-point game. So if you could just get positive bench players and stack them, which the Pistons have done this season, you're seeing that difference. You're not seeing as many Cade goes out and we lose the lead. Yep. We're not seeing that as much, and Javonte Green is a big person involved with that.
Shout out Trajan Langdon.
Yeah. Shout out to Trajan Langdon.
For seeing them in the vision and the foresight, because he's been able to go now in his first 2 off seasons, in his first 2 seasons with the Pistons, and make some pretty savvy signings.
Yes.
Whether it be the trade deadline of Dennis Schroeder, or whether it be the signings of players like Karras, Duncan, or even a Javonte Green. I like what this team is doing right now, man.
Absolutely.
So shout out to them.
Absolutely. But Ivy, though, I thought Ivy is terrific. I think he's still figuring out his place offensively. He didn't really attack the basket that much today, but his floor spacing has been very good for the Pistons, and you need that. He did come off a couple games ago where he was 0 for 4 from 3. Tonight, 3 of 3. So it is a bit streakiness to it. But look, he's given me enough confidence from 3-point land to be like, okay, I am ready to see him get more minutes there. He is still getting his legs, but he looked a little faster. He looked like he had a little bit more burst tonight. He looked a little bit more comfortable. Did you agree with that?
And especially in the second half, I thought that there was just a little bit different hop to how
this on the back-to-back too. Let's not forget about that.
That's a great
point. Let's not underestimate that.
It was like a different hop that you saw him, and he looked a little bit more like himself.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. I believe this team, whether they're coming back from injury or whether they're learning to play as a team with their target on their back, I believe this is going to be a squad that is going to be able to well handle this thing and be able to bring things to fruition. We'll get that up on the screen. I see Dante 151, Mr. Super Chat himself, Mr. Chat System himself.
Shout out Dante, man. The homie.
499 says Indiana has a ball with 2:33 left with a 3-point lead against OSU, and it's 2nd and 5. OSU has 2 timeouts. Come on, Indiana, finish it. Shout out. And look at this, man. He is fired up. They converted a 3rd down on the pass play. Indiana is going to win a big
here for all
10
Ohio
championship. I need them to lose. Hey, keep us updated. IAG has been keeping us updated all show. I've been seeing it, man. It looks like they're going to lose. Keep us posted. As soon as they do, put the L's in the chat for Ohio State. Definitely.
I was talking with somebody at the bar who was a Michigan man before the game, and shout out to him. Him and his lady were lovely people. And when we were talking, we talked about that bag that MSU dropped. And boy,
how do you feel about that? Just quick.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons to smile. I could think of 401 to smile. But I think it's great. And now it's like, all right, Gores, come on. Gores is a state alum. Obviously, you want to talk about dropping bags that could change things. Gores could overnight just tap his pockets, see what he's got, and make Michigan State one of the biggest schools in the nation. He really could if he wanted to. He's already doing a lot for Pistons. I don't want to push my boundaries. Big dog. But if you have it in your heart,
so you know what you have to do. Just go right there, Tom. Win the championship with the Pistons, so that you can shift your focus to Platty's.
Get drunk at the parade and donate like $1 billion to state.
But shout out to Go Blue Michigan.
Shout
I'd
out.
be remiss if I didn't say shout out to my squad, man. But it's good when you see stuff like this happen. For the in-state rival.
Yes.
I'm for all things Michigan looking as good as they can, even if it's Michigan State, unless they're playing.
I respect that. I respect that.
So
no, I know you are. That's why I respect it.
Hey,
I genuinely respect
Michigan State
it.
has produced some great people like my guy over here.
That's true.
And I don't exist if my dad wasn't at Michigan getting busy. I was born on campus, by the way.
All right, you know what? I can give Michigan some props then. I can give Michigan just a little bit of props there.
Yeah, shout out,
That's
man.
it. That's the best I can do.
Shout out. But this Pistons team, they look like themselves, and just I know that there's Red Wings just scored again.
Shout out.
So I know our guys
Red
will
Wings
be
score
going
again
live at some point in time tonight for the post game.
Shout out.
And Justin, if you guys don't already, make sure you're supporting Woodward Wings. All right, you're not getting the best any better coverage, man. I'm dead serious. Tap in with them, Woodward Wings, Spimo Racks, and that dude Justin Satawa. They are handling things and holding it down. They will go live, or at least post something right after the Red Wings.
Shout out Eric. He said, "I'd like to see Tom spend some change on the Tigers." Shout out. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to our guy Eric. Yeah. Shout out to our guy Eric.
Hey, look. So the Pistons.
Yep.
They got a little bit of a break here, bro.
Yeah.
Their next game, Friday, December 12th.
I love it because NBA Cup season, they got eliminated. This gives them a chance to rest up, tweak some things. Yeah, they need that because this is a team that goes hard. And you talk about guys like Stu that are getting extra minutes, right? Those are guys that's going to be really, really valuable for. Not just the Cades and the Durens, the guys that have a lot on their shoulders consistently, but also somebody like Isaiah Stewart, who you've seen, like you said, lower his minutes, get better results. Obviously, they've been lucky enough, fortunate enough to extend his minutes and extend the better results. But you probably can't hold that up over the course of an 82-game season. Just being real. So I love this break for the Pistons. I feel good about it. Before we though get out of what we want to see next, I did just want you to see what were the Pistons stats in two key areas: turnovers and points in paint. I need to see how those were because those were the things we called them. Stats. That's the things we called them out on, right? It was turnovers and it was points in the paint.
Points in the paint, and how many points did they get off of those turnovers? And you know what? The Pistons tonight.
So how did it look? Not good.
So they lost the turnover battle, 16-12.
But that's lower. That's lower though.
December 12th. I'm sorry, December 12th. Friday, December 12th is the next Pistons game.
Yes.
Thank you, Dante. But 16-12. But this is the problem. They conceded 25 points on those 16 turnovers, and they only got 21 points off of the Bucks turnovers. That you cannot give a person a quarter of 100 points. You can't spot somebody 25 points off your turnover.
But you did see,
that's insane.
This team, or any team struggles to score 100 points if the Pistons don't turn it over 20 plus times. Because remember, all throughout that win streak, this Piston team was not giving the ball up 20 times. It was 18, it was 13, it was 12. So, obviously you'd like those numbers to be better, more in favor of the Pistons tonight.
Bucks got 11 steals to the Pistons 5. So their defense was
Again, it wasn't a stocks night for Detroit, which is uncharacteristic. But you still love to see that number is going down because that is something that is going to monitor. Again, if you are not going to shoot threes at a high volume and you are going to shoot a lot of points in the paint, then you need to win turnover battles consistently because that is going to open things. That is going to open things up because otherwise the math is going to be the math. And if you're giving up fast break points and threes, if you're losing in those two categories, a lot of times it's going to be hard to win some games.
I see you in the chat.
Shout out.
That Dupart. How y'all still there? That's dope. I'll show the back of it. Look, it's credential coverage, man. That's what we bring you.
And I know this guy, so I'm good.
Look, it's credential coverage. We're trying to give y'all as much as we can production value, as much as we can in terms of analysis, as much as we can in terms of like behind the scenes and different looks that you generally get from your media. So it's like, you guys, if you saw the beginning of the show, if you didn't, go back. You're going to see Rick Mahorn. You're going to see the different fans. You're going to see them taking their last shots. You're going to see Greg Kelsey. You're going to see Ryan Rollins across the way. Like, these are types of things that we try to bring to you guys, man, every single night. Just something a little bit different, especially in a season that could be special.
Very special.
Very, very special. But what I did like about the Pistons, you talk about what did they do to effectively overcome the turnovers. They bludgeoned the Bucks in terms of points in the paint. They won that 50-38 and rebounds. They won 53-36. The Pistons
we
grabbed
go.
16
That's what you
offensive rebounds.
That's exactly
they
it.
Took back some of those possessions.
Yes, you need to limit your possession giveaways and gain extra possessions. Excuse me. That's the difference. That's how you combat the fast break points and the threes. That's how you. If this team makes every other team have to earn their keep, they're going to win games. Because in my opinion, the standard should be for them the second best defense in the NBA. It should be that. And I think they are capable of that. And so if they again, second best. Shout out sponsors, second best. I think me and my bar are gonna go there after this stream. So if you're in the area, say what up. And I think that's the key, right, Kool-Aid? Is if teams have to earn their keep, they're not beating the Pistons. They're just not.
Not at all.
The teams that beat the Pistons are when the Pistons put themselves in disadvantages. We talked about it with Milwaukee, right?
Yep.
They gave them that game. They gave them that game, right? What's the last team that came in there and the Pistons played their best and they still lost? I'll wait. That's what I'm saying. I think that's it.
That these are the marks of a good team.
Absolutely.
You look at the defense, you look at who they are, whether the shots are there, you look at who they are in terms of their depth. Like you look at this thing and you realize, man, it's it. Like this team is for real. I've waited a long time for this. All of us have. There's fans who they got like the tail end of the 04 Pistons, similar to how I got the Bad Boys. I was like 5 and 6 walking around with the shirt. So it was my team, but it wasn't really my team. But when I got to see the Grand Hill era, then the Stackhouse era, and then the going to work, it was like that. That was all worth it. Now these fans are going through multiple eras, and you can say, well, we had a couple little stars here or all stars here and this and that, but now we're at this point where this is your squad. And for my son, Kid Kool-Aid, shout out to him. It's dope that we're able to go ahead and have this experience together. We got to see the Lions, Renaissance, and now we're able to see the Pistons be able to come up. And I'm glad that
your kids, Easy's kids, man, so blessed. Blessed.
And I'm glad this. Look, a lot of kids from their era, they get swept up into the Steph Currys and into the Giannis's and into the LeBrons. And it's like I have a family friend who worked for Under Armour during the time that Steph Curry was there. And he would make designs and such. He actually designed bags and things. I have one of those bags from Under Armour during the Steph Curry collection.
Shout out.
And he gave my son a bunch of stuff, shoes, flip-flops, gear, book bags. My son would wear it, but he was just like, Dad, I need Piston stuff. As a kid.
That's what's up.
It was just like, Dad.
That's what's up. Shout out to Cool.
He would go to the thrift store, and he found the Stitch store in Richard Hamilton and Chauncey Billups jerseys, bro. So it's like, yeah, let's rock, man. Let's rock. Yeah. Uh-oh. I was waiting for this update. Is it official?
Bye-bye, Ohio.
Bye-bye, Ohio?
I'd love to see it.
Well, we're about to say bye-bye to LCA in a little bit.
Yeah, we are.
Goodness, man. Shout out.
What a night. What a night.
Let me see here, man. I got to see. Is it confirmed? Is it game over?
What a night. A Detroit winning and Ohio lost. You'll love that. If I could just do that every day of my life, I'd be very, very happy. If I saw that every day, I'd be very happy.
Shout out. Well, Platte, man, this has been fun. I'm glad we got you in arena. We're going to have to do this again sometime as well. We get the people in here about to shut everything down, man. Seeing a lot of the same faces. That's it. People here, they work hard. They really do.
Yeah. I'm just shout out to everybody.
People are in here making sure the LCA can be beautiful. You got hockey coming in and all that, and it's dope, bro. OSU on their own 15, 2 seconds, 85 yards away now.
So basically they got a Hail Mary. Yeah.
If Ohio State finds a way, I'm going to be so pissed off. So I might have to get off the stream before something crazy happens. Yeah. But hey, look, man, for Platte, Kool-Aid, for the more handsome Platte down there.
I don't know about that. Debatable. You see his hair.
Playing, man. Look at the locks over here, man. My kids took on mine, so.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Maybe it's the stress of the last 15 years of Pistons basketball.
That's true. But you know what? As long as we got Cade Cunningham, they're going to have a full head of hair. They're going to have a full head of hair.
It's going to grow back.
Yeah.
That would be Pistons.
Yeah.
That would be. But no, man, this has been fun. We got to get these guys.
Got to have a Ben Wallace throw next time we stream.
We're gonna have to get you thrown out one day. Like literally, your actual hair.
There's a picture. There is a picture of me. I have to grab it. I'll grab it and we'll put it on the stream one time of me and my grandma who actually had a fro, and I had the Ben Wallace fro.
Hey,
you know,
rock,
yeah, that was a good time. Shout out to Grandma
man.
Platte, man.
Hey, look at this.
Legend.
Ohio State's getting trashed right now. 13-10, it's official. Indiana's won the Big Ten championship. Ohio's some bums. Let's go. Indy, that's
love that.
Card. Let's go. Ohio State is trash. This is perfect, dog. This is perfect. Let's get out of here before we turn this into a post-game show just hating on Ohio State. Man.
Yeah.
Smash that like button if you didn't get
Please smash that like button on the way out. It means the world to us. It helps us grow. We need to get in these other fan bases. I want New York people to get Pistons notifications. I want to piss them off. I want Milwaukee people. We saw a lot of Milwaukee.
We want them to subconsciously root us on.
Hey, there's room. There's room. Jump on the bandwagon. We're good. We'll give you some we'll give you some shit, but we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Yo, look, we tapping out. Let's just see the court one more time before we go. Shout out. And you know what, man? Next time, I might set up over there on the Players Club, over there, and have the court behind us too. It'd be dope.
I like that. I'm gonna have to be there for that. And one time before we end the stream, shout out to my brother because this is his birthday gift, so that is why he is here. That is why he is here. So shout out to Eric, man. Love the Platte family.
Oh, that's dope, man. We got family. We got wins. We got everything here, man. Shout out, man. I'm gonna put up some of these comments before we go.
Yes, sir. Smash that like button. Again, chat. Means the world, seriously.
Shout out Eric Moore, man. I like talking hoops with Eric. I really do. That was dope, man. I think it was the last Bucks game.
Yeah.
Y'all continue to tap in, man. Y'all be safe. Let's rock. He said, it's cold outside. It is.
Yeah.
Cold. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.